Hello, beautiful friends, and welcome back here to my little corner of YouTube. I'm Laramie, and this is my kitchen, where I cook and we get to chit chat. I do hope you'll pull up a chair and stay a while with me. It's late January right now in Appalachia, and that means warm comfort foods in this house. So, we've got some chili on the menu tonight. All day today, I've been mulling over how we can cultivate joy when we are facing hard seasons, how we can turn self pity to praise. For those of you who might not know me, I'm a homemaker and I'm currently raising 5 young children. Our life in the mountains is a traditional one where I spend my days homeschooling and rearing our children. It's really a simple life. But that also means that we live on a single income in these modern times. And that has in turn given us opportunities over these years to become sturdy, facing unplanned expenses or the ever rising costs of living. We are never short on character building situations around here. And now, a new generation of young wives and homemakers are joining our ranks. And I've had many a conversation with some about the difficulties of this lifestyle and how it can create bitterness and the ease in which self-pity tends to creep in. It's so easy to think that others around you have life easier because they have more money, more conveniences, and better things. But in reality, all of us here on this earth are facing trials. But there is something that sets one person apart from the other, and that is how we choose to handle those trials. In my humble opinion, self-pity in the face of adversity is the self-destruction button of the homemaker. It might feel good in the moment, but ultimately, it just permits you to not try as hard and to justify giving up before you even get started trying to tackle what might be in front of you. For example, we can view a small grocery budget with the high prices in a negative light, feeling bad for ourselves and muttering about how it's just not possible to live like this. Or we can choose gratitude and praise the Lord for what we do actually have. For we could have nothing, but rather the Lord has provided for yet another day for us. And that's something to be thankful for. Take this meal that I'm making tonight, a delicious chili. It costs me approximately $18 at this point in time to make a pot full of chili and to have some cheese for sprinkling on the top. This one dish will feed my family of 7 for 2 full meals and 2, maybe even 3 lunches for my husband this week. Not only does it taste good, but it's a wise meal to make, sitting at about $1 per serving. It's economical and it stretches our budget. And some might scoff and say, well, where are the side dishes? Where's your cornbread? What about sour cream and other fixings? And I've learned that while those are nice to have, they just aren't necessary for a simple weeknight meal. Bellies get filled with good food, and extravagance, while nice, is not required. We can really appreciate this chili on its own, without the self-pity of what we think it's missing, but instead be happy and grateful for what it provides, which is nourishment and warmth. You might be surprised at how many different types of meals you could make just with some basic pantry ingredients. Things like dried beans, onions, peppers, ground beef, and tinned tomatoes. I can think of, just off the top of my head, 5 or 6 meals that I can make that are all different from one another. but using the same ingredients. And one of the pitfalls that we can often fall off into whenever it comes to the self-pity freeze up is that when faced with a new challenge or setback, it can be really hard to see past what our own expectations were. And one of the most common ones that I find these days is that of grocery budgets. Food is expensive, and these prices, they're not going to be coming down. For most of us, there really isn't room in the monthly budget to keep adding into the grocery category. And that really leads to a strain on those of us who do the grocery shopping and cooking in our homes. The money, it doesn't go as far as it used to. And that leaves us with two different paths. The first one is we could mutter and moan about how our purchasing power has shrunk and just continue buying what we're comfortable and used to getting at the grocery store. Or we could pivot and see these challenges as a push to learn something new. Baking bread, learning to use dried ingredients, or how to make stock, these old school cooking skills. And with the right attitude, while it's still hard because it's new, it could actually be a lot of fun. Continuing to allow us to live with our head held high, with dignity, and with gratitude for not only having food to eat, but for the new skills that you've acquired along the way. We have to refuse self-pity, absolutely, and refuse to let it destroy our outlook on the joys and blessings that are abounding all around us. Goodness, I wish you could smell this. If you're interested in trying this recipe that I'm making tonight, I'll have a link to my blog posts where I have it written down for you down in the description. Please don't worry, it's free. I want to help. And you're welcome to subscribe. That way, every time I post a new musing or recipe, it'll get sent straight to your email, and you won't have to worry about searching for it. Where else does this trap of self-pity trip us up? In the comparison of the material items we have versus maybe what our friends or strangers on the internet have. Now, my friend, I'm not going to lie to you. I have more than once found myself caught up in covetousness, looking at beautiful pictures of a perfectly organized kitchen, or even a home where there are rooms with large and what seems to be a dozen beautiful windows open to let in the summer breeze. I've looked in the mirror at my small wardrobe, wondering if what I have is pretty enough, wishing for that closet filled with all of the beautiful pieces that I see other ladies with. I've pitied myself into a ditch and grievously forgotten how blessed I am for all the things that I do have. I'm honestly not sure any of us are immune to misstepping in this area at times, but we can actively guard against it with consistent reshaping of our thinking and openly expressing gratitude for all the things that we have, no matter how insignificant it might seem. It's almost done. Everybody is so excited to eat this tonight. I've got to make sure, though, that I'm taste testing it every step of the way and adjusting the seasonings to make sure it's perfect. The more gratitude that we speak, the easier it'll be to remember all of the good things that there are. And as I tell my children, just look around at everything that we've been blessed with, because I can promise you that there is someone who prays daily for all that we take for granted. I mean, how often do you just look around at your home, your family, and the world that we live in and just soak in all the wonders that we've been provided? The trials that you're facing, my friend, I don't doubt it for a second that they are tiring and burdensome. But I pray that you are able to take some time to sit in thought on all of the blessings that you have, even during these moments. And I hope that seeing all that is good will lift your heart and bring praise to your lips. Enjoy your week and seek to stomp out any self-pity that's bringing you down, and face all moments with gratitude, knowing that this too is helping you grow into a person with strong character and a heart overflowing with thanksgiving. We'll talk soon.